In this illustration, we're going to discuss how farmland should be shown on a cost basis balance sheet. This one's really quite easy because what you do is you do not let the land appreciate in value. Now, that'll be different on a market-based balance sheet, but on a cost basis balance sheet, which is what we're discussing at the moment, the land value that goes on the balance sheet right here under farmland, under non-current assets, should be the original purchase price of the land. It should not be appreciated over time in a cost basis balance sheet. Now, any additional land purchase, you would add the purchase price of that additional land, and if you made any permanent improvements that you weren't going to use as expenses, then those would be added, but they would always be added at their cost. If you will remember, we talked about an illustration of a land account. And if you remember from that account inside the chart of accounts, we always kept that land at its original value, even if it was bought many years previous. Again, in a cost basis balance sheet. So when you had that total, which is right here, which is the original purchase price of the land. And see, some of it was bought many years ago, right? And the original cost of any permanent improvements that were not expensed, then this total for land right here is what would go right into the farmland account on the balance sheet. That number would not change over time unless you bought more land or made permanent non-expensed improvements. Now that's an important point. On a cost basis balance sheet, this farmland does not change without the purchase of additional land or the purchase or the payment for some kind of permanent improvements. If the improvements were not permanent, then they would need to be depreciated. But if they're permanent improvements, then they could add to that land a value, uh, and again, it must remain constant.